Hello and welcome back to another World of Warships Blitz video, and today I'm going to be talking about my two favorite ships in the game, the Fusō, the Tier 6 Japanese Fusō, and the Tier 7 Japanese Hyūga. They are sister ships and they are almost identical except for the skills that they have in the game. So each of these ships has 6 twin cannon 356mm turrets, and they can fire at about one volley per 20-ish seconds or so, depending on how you upgrade the ship. Now, what is very wonderful about the Hyūga and the Fusō is that they seem to be extremely accurate when firing. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like that when I fire a volley, I tend to get a lot more hits out of that volley than I typically would. Of course, right as I say that, I only get 2 out of 12 hits. But anyways, because of this accuracy, it is very easy to get critical citadel hits on the enemy ships. I find myself typically getting between 2 and 5 citadel hits per battle with these two ships. Now, the Fusō, the Tier 6 Fusō, has at its base 2 of the sniper skill abilities, allowing you to increase your accuracy and decrease your shell dispersion even more for 2 shots. You can also upgrade it so that you have 3 of those abilities, and you can also, if you upgrade the length of it using your commander skills, then you can actually fire it for 2, or you can use it for 2 different volleys that you fire per ability that you pop. The Hyūga instead gets 2 of the level 3 rapid fire abilities. So that is a very, very powerful ability, especially at Tier 7. And because the Hyūga already fires a volley every, I think it's like 19.5 seconds, how I've got mine upgraded, you are able to use that Tier 3 rapid fire ability twice for 2 different volleys per time that you pop it. So how it works is that you would fire your volley, and then you'd wait until you have 11 seconds left before your next volley, and then you pop the skill and you can fire once instantly, and then you can fire again in another 11 seconds. So you basically, for a few seconds, just get to rapid fire and dish out a ton of damage. There's been several times that I've had enemy battleships at mid-range from me, and I've popped this ability, and I've been able to bring them from full health down to about a quarter health if I get some good citadel hits and stuff like that. So it's a very useful ability. And then, of course, both the Fusō and the Hyūga, you can completely obliterate enemy cruisers in one shot from full health. If you get 2 citadel hits, you can take out all of their health and one-shot them, which is very useful. So yeah, both of these ships are spectacular. They are quite slow-moving, and the other downside is that they have very little armor protection. I don't tend to notice this as an issue very often. I don't feel like I get citadel hit that often, and typically I end up surviving till the end of the match. The Hyūga, I typically get around between 70 and 100,000 damage per match, and the Fusō, I typically get between 50 and 70,000 per match. This match here, we are currently winning. One of our teammates tried flanking around to the left of that center island, but they were alone and they got taken out. But now it looks like we are rushing around the right side of that island, and we should pretty quickly decimate the enemy forces that are left. So this match is pretty much in the bag. We're just going to try to soak up as much damage as we can in the finishing moments of the match. So yeah, that was a very successful and very quick match. The Fusō's secondaries, I believe it has 14. They are relatively accurate, however, they don't shoot particularly far. The Hyūga, on the other hand, I feel like its secondaries fire much farther. I haven't actually checked out what the range is on either of their secondaries, but I just feel like the Hyūga, I can fire really, really far with its secondaries, which is useful. And here we go, dishing out some final damage before teammates finish out the match. We got that Confederate medal there, and this match is a wrap. And yeah, in this match we are going to score second place. I forget how much damage we end up with. I think it's 52,000 in the first place. And no, we got 54,000 in the first place, gets 56,000. But we did pretty good. So that was the Tier 6 Fusō, and moving on to the Tier 7 Japanese Hyūga, its sister ship. This match we are actually going to lose, spoiler alert, but I figured I'd include it anyways because despite having some poor matchups with the random teammate generator, we still managed to pull off a whopping 104,000 damage, whereas none of our other teammates scored above 20,000 damage. So it's quite unfortunate when you get a matchup like that against a bunch of teammates that don't particularly help you much. Of course, there were quite a few bots in this match as well. I believe that it was 3 real players versus 3 real players, and then 4 bots on each team, I believe. But you can only do what you can do. So here I'm trying to push forward. I don't really know what I was trying to do. I wanted to use that iceberg up ahead of me for cover from the enemies that are flanking around my right, and I was hoping that I could fire at these ships going to capture B. It obviously worked out quite well for me since I got such a high damage output this match. However, it wasn't enough. In hindsight, I probably should have pushed forward and tried to capture either B or C so that I could get our team some points. However, with our teammates going down so quickly, I'm still not sure that that would have won the match. As you can see, the enemy's already captured 2 of the 3 points, and they're capturing the 3rd. We will end up taking hold of capture point A, I believe, but it's not going to be enough. Here, I just completely did not see that destroyer coming around. Luckily, it was a bot. And here, I wanted to go ahead and take out that Fusō. I don't remember. I think we get 1 shot off at it.
Good job.
Didn't quite sink it. That was really unfortunate. Unfortunately, in this match, we didn't sink any ships, but that's just how it goes sometimes. We get really close, and then one of our teammates would finish them off. I spot that Colorado there, recognizing that it's one of the enemy players instead of a bot. I wanted to take it out as quickly as I could. We got really unlucky with that volley there. We hit with 7 out of 12, however, none of them fully penetrated. The Colorado does have pretty decent belt armor though, so we line up another shot and we fire. And a lot better. We hit with 10 of 12. So as you can see, like I was mentioning before, the Hyūga and the Fusō just have such crazy accuracy. And we'd pop that rapid fire skill right there. So as you can see, we got to fire basically 36 shots in a 20-second period, basically, which is insane. We did get a Citadel hit there. And that Colorado is looking pretty beat up. So we're going to go ahead and try to finish it off here in the next volley or 2. Unfortunately, it will just manage to escape us barely. We did get another Citadel hit there. Like I mentioned, with the Fusō and the Hyūga, with their accuracy, you can just get Citadel after Citadel after Citadel. I realize here that we have an enemy cruiser flanking around my right side, so I push the ship into full speed ahead because I figure that it's going to be firing some torpedoes at us. I'm hoping to dodge as many of them as we can. And that Colorado is just barely alive, but it's going to get out of our range here in this. Oh no, that's right. Oh, I do sink it. Yeah, I fire 2 shots at it, and then I fire 2 shots at the New Mexico. must have been a different match that I was thinking of that I didn't get any kills. Anyways, we end up sinking both the Colorado and the New Mexico, pretty much leveling the playing field at this point, since there's only 2 enemy cruisers and an enemy destroyer. However, with that destroyer going around and both of these cruisers having torpedoes on them, it's going to be pretty gnarly. Both of these cruisers are rental graph sprees. I don't recommend that you guys ever use rentals, ever. It's just not worth it. You can't assign a commander to them, and commander skills are significant in the game. You can't put camos on, you can't put equipment on. They're just really not great. All of the benefits of having a premium are just completely lost. And we did manage to sink that graph spree. I see that the destroyer's coming through, and this is just about going to be the end of us. That graph spree did get off its torpedo volley right before we killed it. I should have fired high explosive here, but I just didn't have time to reload, and I knew that. Here come these torpedoes in. Gonna just about sink us. Not quite though. And then it's gonna finish us off with its guns, but anyways, so those were 2 great matches. Despite not getting a win on the second one, we did manage to get just 107,000 damage with 3 ships sunk. Like, that is just a spectacular match, even if we didn't win. So, yes, the Fusō and the Hyūga are both my favorite ships in the game, mostly because of their accuracy, and then I just feel like they far outclass any of the other ships for their tier. I do feel like that the Fusō is a little bit better than the Hyūga, even though I get more damage output with the Hyūga. The 356mm cannons just, they don't stand up as well in combat as the as they do at tier 6 in tier 7. But anyways, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next episode.